Alright, rednecks, welcome back. In today's video we are going to be tackling hopefully this receiver right here. I want to get the interior lights working. I want to take a look at the heater hoses up front because they are actually leaking, and that's the main reason this truck was so cheap, is because he didn't have time to fix that. And a few other things. So let's get started by showing you a list of what I've created that we want to have done to this thing before we obviously go, and a few other things I want to add to it. So let's cut to that video right now, and then we'll come back and let's try and tackle this receiver. Alright, rednecks, welcome back. What we have here is a list of all the things we are going to be buying for the F-150. So far all we have is the purchase of the truck for $400. We got it in Wayland on the 28th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down into categories. Truck total, tools for the truck such as onboard air or anything like that, and then fun stuff like if I end up putting a bed in the back or something like that. So that's this list, obviously not very big right now. And then here is a list of things that need to be fixed. We're going to try and tackle that in today's video. The heater core, the power windows. We're going to take a look at that front shock. I want to get the interior lights working, the high beam lights working. We need to remove that receiver. That is actually going to be the first thing. I've already been soaking it in PB Blaster. And we might fix the front bumper. I got to take a look at that. Looked up some prices to fix the front shock. It's going to be $20 for a shock on Amazon and $40 for a water pump on Amazon. And then fun things I want to add and remove. I want to remove the rear seat since I don't think we'll be using those, and that'll be good for putting gear in. I got a light bar I want to add. I actually bought at a auction for $15. We got to think about maybe making a rear sleep area on the back of the flatbed. Add a tool jack and recovery bin so I have spots to put my floor jack and chains and straps. I want to put a CB radio on it, and like I said before, onboard air, I'd like to add that. Maybe a brush guard, so if we come up on some small trees or something that need to be just pushed out of the way, I can hit those. And then front tow points, that's going to be critical in case I get stuck or I need to pull somebody with the front. I want to make sure there's front tow points. I know it has a receiver on the back, but so yeah, let's get to tackling some of these things right now. Welcome back. So far what I've done to this is I have soaked it with PB Blaster for the last like 2 or 3 days. Every day I've kind of just sprayed in right here, and I can already tell it's working because this pin right here wasn't even moving before. So let's get that pin out and let's see if the old 5-pounder will do anything to get this thing moving. And if not, I got some propane in my torch, so see what happens. This truck's gonna be 20 pounds lighter when I get done. It's moved about 1/8 of an inch, maybe, about 1/4 of an inch so far, so let's keep hitting her. Yeah, buddy. So, show you guys what that looks like. Makes it a little more difficult because it's actually a dead hole, which means it don't go all the way through. But as you can see, we got it out. That's exciting. So let's pull this thing out, flip it around, and start working on some stuff up front. I have already been reviewing right here our relay center inside of our cab here, and I'm looking for let's see here, we want to look at this one right here, number 14, which is our interior lamp relay, which is looks like the third one down here. And then number 16, which is our our high beams for our headlamps, which is 2 down from that one. So that should, we're gonna start by looking at those 2 fuses. So, and I've already been looking at this, and what I need to do is you take your 12-volt test light here, and you want to turn your key on. And you can take and turn your radio off. Sorry about that. What you want to do is you're just going to touch off on each side, and it'll tell you whether your fuse is good. So like, let's say we want to test this one. We touch off. Well, that one must not be live. So on this side we touch off, it lights up. On that side we light up. So let's take a look here at our diagram, and we're looking at number 14, which is our interior lamp relay. So we go to our third one down here, and we touch off, it lights up on one side, and it don't on the other. So that tells me that that fuse right there is bad. Now here's the funny thing, is 16 is missing, and that is the fuse for our high beam. So I went ahead already and grabbed a good fuse and put it in there. And I already know that that takes care of our high beams. So what I'll do is I'll turn my headlights on, turn the high beams on, and lights up. We come around to the front of the truck, and we have high beams. So that was an easy fix. Now we go over here, come back. I'll see if I can get both the interior light, which is right there. I believe my record is in the way, but I am gonna grab a good fuse, pop the old one out, and put the new one in, and boom, we have interior lights. And if you look, I don't know if I'll be able to light this up to show you what a bad fuse looks like. Yeah, good luck. You might be able to see that. So the break that is occurring from that post to that post is what's causing the fuse to be bad. So that was pretty easy. Now let's see if we can't take this door panel off and figure out what's wrong with the power windows, because all my powers on the fuse center and fuse block are good. So let's get this door panel off and see what's going on behind, see if we can't run that motor manually without the switches. So yeah, let's get to work. Oh, you guys gotta see this. This is our door panel switches right here, and behind the door panel there's another set of switches, and it appears they cut the wiring off the other one. Yeah, I think first step is to get a wiring diagram for that, or maybe even just go get a connector for it. I'm going to be going to LKQ, so which is a pick and pull lot here, and I already looked online and they already had a lot of listings for this vehicle, so maybe I'll just end up snipping one of those connectors off there and putting it on, because that needs to be done anyways, and then we'll try that again. So yeah, that's quite unique. That's kind of funny. I did not expect to see that behind the door panel. Okay then. Alright guys, as for the heater core hoses, what he did is he ended up breaking this one off of the heater core. It's actually a plastic disconnect, and he just got them vice gripped off right now. And if you look, way back up in here, that is the heater core, and there's a disconnect on it, and he actually broke part of the disconnect off inside of this hose. So normally that would just clip on. Knowing all this, I'm going to head over to the pick and pull lot, LKQ in Holland here, and get that hose, get the connector for there, and kind of look over the trucks there and see if there's anything else I might be able to get or need. So I'm going to give this thing a once over, and I am going to grab my tools and head out. So see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, back from LKQ, and I have to say, those hoses are not fun. This is what I ended up bringing back. On the under dash, or under the hood, fuse center has these weird fuses. I don't have any of those, so I figured I'd grab a few of those. Grabbed a bunch out of the box on the one I was working with, as well as some relays. These are the disconnects actually for the heater core, and then the O-rings and spacers and the clips. Here are both the driver and passenger connectors for that power door. And then obviously what we were really after were these hoses. And while I was at it, I got the fuse cover for the inside. And these are the only tools I had to use. I actually used this pick, screwdriver, and these for the most part. Didn't really have to use much else. And there's our total right there. Came out to $2.11. So pretty cheap picks. We're gonna keep this thing under 500 bucks. That's my goal at least. My hands are cramped after that. I think I need a break. Yeah, he wants me to take a break too. Alright guys, there's a few methods to get this connector back on. First thing you want to do is obviously strip the ends of your wires, and strip these ones too. They were already stripped, but I cut them down a little bit shorter as they don't need to be that long. And some of your options are, you could use a crimp. These are like an outdoor crimp, because they actually have the shrink wrapping on them, where this one is a more of an interior clip. Obviously you could do a connector like this. It's 3 wires into one, or yeah, 3 wires into one, so you can have 1 input, 2 outputs. Tools needed for that, you would need a crimp, some sort of wire cutters, or these are my favorite type of crimps. And then this is a manual or an automatic wire stripper. But my favorite method is actually the soldering iron, because that's a more permanent connection. What you're going to need for that is this is like your sealer for your wire, and then you need some solder. So yeah, let's get this connector soldered onto them terminals. And there we go. That's how you solder a connector. I am going to wait to put the sleeves, these right here, over top. So these would normally slide over top, and then you shrink wrap them. I want to test and make sure the window works, and check for powers and everything. That's a good way to check it right there, because obviously I have exposed wires. So alright, first things first, with this exposed like this, we're going to take our test light and we're going to see if we have power. We do. We have power on this lead right here. So let's carefully give it a go. Ha ha! That one powers up. And that one's our up. So that means this is ground. That's power. This is up. And that is down. So let's see if the passenger one works. Oh, that was easy. All the way down. And all the way back up. And the auto even works. So there we go. Let's get that shrink wrap over top of these exposed wires and let's put this all back together. And there you have it, guys. Just like that, we have all of our shrink wrap on. I gave every wire a good tug to make sure that each and every one of them had a good solder job. And boom. Window down, window up. You don't sound the prettiest, but here we go with the passenger side. Man, this thing's turned into be quite the nice truck. I think she's worth like $4 grand now. They're gonna turn me down. So I ended up bringing the truck inside, and I am going to replace both these heater core hoses because there is some sort of patch job right here. And when you're doing these, when I was taking them out at the pick and pull lot, I noticed how much it wasn't that much more work just to do both of them, because when they're up on the firewall by your heater core, they're that close together, and just getting at this clip's a pain and getting at that one's a pain. But once you get one out, you can get to both sides real easily. So I think I'm going to go ahead and replace both of these. We'll get those ones out and get back to you. I finally got that one off. What a pain. Alright, quick update. I ended up getting one of the hoses off. This is the one that had that bad part on it right there. So I found it easiest. I couldn't hardly get on these tabs, so I just ended up breaking them right off. And then got the other clips off. The problem I'm running into now is if you look back there, it's hard to see, but that clip, let's see if I can't get something on it. That clip right there is facing the wrong direction. The other piece of it is back there, and you got to clip both of them together in order to pull it off. And the problem I'm having is I don't have enough room back there to get that thing. So yeah, let's keep struggling. As soon as I get that off, the other holes will come out and I'll be able to install the new ones. So let's keep working at it. Oh, that is a pain in the butt. Yeah, an hour to get them off. When I was at LKQ, it took me about 40 minutes, and yeah, that was the pain. So hopefully they go on easier than they come off. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, on the back side, I am going to get rid of this because that was a pain in the butt, and I'm going to change it out for a more traditional one. I think this is called a spring clamp, hose clamp, and I would imagine this is just like a screw style, but I'm going to put this one in. I think this one will be a lot easier to get on and off, so let's get them hoses on. That wasn't nearly as difficult as removing them, I have to say that. So let's get the radiator topped off with some fluid. Let's get this thing running and cycling some stuff, and let's see if we got heat in the cab. So pretty excited because we knocked off a lot today so far. It has only been running for about 3 minutes and I'm already getting a little heat. It didn't even come up off cold yet, but we're getting there. So I'm going to take this time to check the running lights on it, make sure everything's good. Got our running light there, so that's good. Let's see here. And look at that. Both the running lights in the back are working, so see if the headlights work, and we'll check all the turn signals. So these are low beam. Ooh, this is what we just fixed. Look at that. Oh yeah. Let's see if the cluster even lights up. Oh yeah, see, that didn't even light up before. Nice. So let's turn on, I'll do the left turn signal. And by the way, they're blinking fast because this has LEDs on the back, so I might have to get an LED blinker. Actually, not even working. We might have to address that. Maybe that's why they're blinking fast. I was told because they have LEDs on the back, that's why it blinked fast. But we have the front one. I have a feeling this back one's probably not going to be working. Yes, that's a no-go. So let's try the brake lights. I'll grab a pry bar quick a sec. There you go. Brake light up top works, and those are not very bright. I think those are just running lights. Let's turn off the running lights. They are off. Let's turn them on and see if they're brighter. They don't look like anything's changing, so let's put you guys on the stand and I'll have to review the video quick a sec to see if those are even doing anything. Well, it looks like we'll be adding the rear tail lights to some stuff we have to fix. That hopefully won't be too bad. So, alright rednecks, I'm pretty excited with the stuff we got done today. So hopefully you guys are too, and I'm quite excited to get this thing on the road. I got a few more things I want to address, then I can insure it, start driving it, and make sure it's ready for the Gambler 500. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, get back to work.